What is up, guys? You're back with your boy THoG Rican, and I got another hashtag update for you. Today I got actually a special treat for you. We actually got us a dual commentator today. So I'm going to be introducing you to my co-host today. His name is xMegaJohn.
What's going on, guys? It's your friend XMegaJohn, and I want to thank Rican for allowing me to come on the show today and giving my thoughts and answering these questions about what's going on in the Call of Duty community.
Well, you're more than welcome, man. Well, if you guys don't know anything about this, xMegaJohn is actually part of an organization that Honor the Call actually started up. It's hashtag Team Small YouTuber, and we all get together. You know, we try to see what we can do to actually make the community better. So, like Mega just said, we're actually going to be talking about Call of Duty and the direction that they're taking and how it's actually going to be affecting the community. So basically, just so you guys know, we actually do have a couple of questions that we're going to be asking each other. And if you guys have any questions that you would like us to go through in the future, I mean, we're more than happy to do another update video for you guys. Just go ahead and drop those questions down in the comments. And before I continue, make sure you guys check out xMegaJohn's channel over there on YouTube. I am going to be putting a link in the description, and I will have a card up on the video. All right, so first question I got for you, Mega.
Let's get it.
All right, what are your thoughts on Infinite Warfare and the futuristic direction that Infinity Ward decided to take against the community's wishes?
Well, with Infinite Warfare, it's been a love-hate relationship with me. I've been playing Call of Duty since Call of Duty 2, and I really, just like the rest of the community, want to go back to a boots-on-the-ground setting. Now, when I first seen Infinite Warfare, I was ready to push the dislike button, much like everybody else was, because I did not want to see a space, boost jumping. I didn't want to see any of that crap.
Yep.
But the more I'm seeing of it, and this is all from a single-player side, the more it's starting to appeal to me, mainly with the flying sections. Now, Call of Duty has been on-rails flying in every Call of Duty we've ever played. And when I first seen the E3 video, it looked like it was on rails.
Yeah.
Now, the devs have come out and said that it's all free flying, it's not on rails, so that really appeals to me and makes me interested to play the game again. And in fact, with their last video that they dropped for the campaign section, it looked really good, and it looked like something I might play, but we haven't seen any multiplayer, and that is going to be, what is going to keep us playing. That's what's going to decide if we're going to buy it or pass on it.
Yep. Well, I mean, that's the thing about it. You know, with the multiplayer aspect of everything, Infinity Ward decided to keep everything under wraps. You know, we're really not sure why they decided to do that. You know, in the past, every other Call of Duty, I actually did a lot of research on that. Every other Call of Duty showed everything between July and August time frame. You know, so it gave you a chance to actually let that stuff simmer and basically let it fester in your head, saying, I really want to play that. I really want to try it. This year, they didn't do that. Now they're telling us we have to wait until COD XP in order to see anything multiplayer related. And I think that's what has the community, I mean, just extremely angry with them right now.
Yeah, and I think it's mainly they are really gun shy about. I think all the dislikes and all the hate and everybody wanting to go back to boots on the ground, it really has affected Activision and what they're willing to show.
Oh yeah,
it's got to. That's the only way. Because I remember even when Ghost came out. Remember how much? Well, I don't know. I'm pretty sure everybody disliked Ghost. I know I did. But
well, Ghost was actually a 50-50 type thing. You know, 50% of the community actually liked it. The other 50%, they were kind of skeptical. You know, but it wasn't as much as Infinite Warfare. I mean, Infinite Warfare has set records for the.
Oh yeah, it has. Yeah, I'm one of those. I'm in the 50% that didn't like it, but still, whenever I seen the multiplayer, I think it was shown off when the Xbox One was actually announced.
Yeah,
or it might have been E3 right after that. And
yeah,
I was gonna pass on it, but I seen the multiplayer and I thought, okay, this is all right. I'm gonna pick it up and try it.
Yep.
Ended up not liking it, but it made me want to pick it up because I seen the multiplayer, you know.
Yeah, see, and I think Infinity Ward is trying to learn a lesson from what happened with Ghost. I mean, a lot of people see Ghost as like an epic failure, you know, and what everyone really doesn't understand with Ghost is Infinity Ward had a lot of in-house changes when Ghost was actually still being produced.
That's
You
right.
know,
Weston
and
Zampella leaving.
yeah, that whole deal with those guys would, they ended up leaving and they ended up creating Respawn Entertainment. Those in-house changes actually really delayed Ghost, and Ghost almost wasn't even released.
Yeah, and having to actually launch it on the 360 as well
Yeah.
as the PS3 and the new systems coming out, that really
hmm
put them behind the gun too.
Yeah, it definitely did, because when they actually did get the test boxes for the Xbox One, they were under the impression that on the Xbox One console, it was actually going to be something similar to Battlefield, where they were going to have, the 32v32. Like, it was going to be huge maps and huge lobbies. So that's why Ghost actually came out with the massive lobbies that they came out with for that game, because they were under the impression that Xbox One was going to be doing that. But
Hmm.
little did everyone know, Xbox One basically used the same servers that Xbox 360 had, and Xbox 360 cannot handle that type of load.
That's right.
Trying to put that type of load, it's just insane. Just the 9v9s that we have in Ground War on every single Call of Duty game is just terrible. Can you imagine a 64-player lobby?
Yeah, that would be terrible too. I know that. Well, one thing that really made me upset with Ghost was Ground War not being in the 360 and PS3 versions, but being only on the next gen versions. I don't know where that decision came from, but I remember
Yeah.
we've always had Ground War, and then when Ghost came out, it's like, oh, if you want to play Ground War with more players, you have to get it on the new consoles.
Yeah, and I think
So
that was still that partnership between Xbox or Microsoft and Activision, where Microsoft wanted everybody to shift over to next gen consoles, and
right.
the only way that they can get everybody to do it, because those consoles dropped at the same time as Call of Duty, was getting Activision on board with that marketing scheme to push everybody towards the Xbox One.
That's right. Because why would you get it on the new systems? Why would you get a new system for the game if it has feature parity with the old version?
Exactly. So, yep, that's pretty much it right there. I mean, when it comes to me, I really I really don't like the futuristic direction that they're taking. Now, granted, I do understand why they took that direction, considering the fact that, like I said before, that whole in-house issue that Infinity Ward had, and then, the whole Respawn Entertainment thing, Sledgehammer having to go back and help Infinity Ward finish their game, and then Sledgehammer pounding out Advanced Warfare, it gave Infinity Ward and Treyarch that taste before we even got Advanced Warfare.
Right.
They saw Advanced Warfare and they're like, oh, this game has so much potential. Look at the movement system. Look what they can do. And I mean, Infinity Ward and Treyarch were just all over that bandwagon. They were all over that hype train, which is why the moment Advanced Warfare was announced, Infinity Ward and Treyarch both had copies already. Treyarch already had started on Black Ops 3, and that same moment, Infinity Ward started Infinite Warfare.
Yeah, that's exactly where I was going to go with it, because all of these games are on a 3-year development cycle. We didn't really start seeing the hate for the futuristic Call of Duties until, just recently within the last year. These games have already been in the pipeline for 2 years already.
Oh no, actually, the hate for the futuristic games actually came between mid-cycle Advanced Warfare, when it actually started the community started noticing that the supply drop system was rigged and the game was becoming pay to win.
Oh, wow.
Once that happened, and then all of a sudden you have Scuff, and Scuff is heightening their sales. What's the other controller? Singe controllers,
yeah.
they started upping their sales. Then in comes the Elite controller. So all of these people are able to actually take advantage of this movement system, which drove everyone insane.
Yeah, and that's what drove me to get an Elite controller. I was done with Advanced Warfare. I got an Elite controller. I said, let me go back and try it, and it made the game so much easier to play.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Because I could actually boost dodge without having to click down that thumbstick and worry about which direction I'm going. So it's really helped out these third-party companies and actually the first party companies like Microsoft that are making these advanced controllers.
Exactly, and then having come out with Black Ops 3 and Treyarch slowing down that movement system, a few notches in Advanced Warfare was set. Infinity Ward saw that, okay, fine. Treyarch toned it down just a bit. People aren't raging about the futuristic stuff no more. They're not really angry at, the movement system anymore. So let's go ahead and continue on with,
keep it going.
Infinite Warfare. And then all of a sudden, they went ahead and they started testing and dropping these leaked images. And the moment people heard space Call of Duty,
over.
everyone lost their minds. Infinity Ward picked up on it, and they started dropping Modern Warfare Remastered.
Yeah.
Which brings me on to my next question. Do you think it's a good idea for Infinity Ward to make Modern Warfare Remastered and Infinite Warfare a package deal instead of selling them separately?
Well, business-wise for Activision, it actually makes perfect sense for them because we're so in love with those feelings that we get from Modern Warfare, from Call of Duty 4. We all want to go back to that boots on the ground. If those two games were sold separately, man, I'm not saying nobody would buy Infinite Warfare, but more people would buy Modern Warfare Remastered, and it would lead, I believe, to Activision not losing money, but not making as much money as they usually do with their newest Call of Duty entry.
Yeah.
However, I think the best way for them to go about it is to package both products in the regular base $60 version.
Exactly.
Because me personally, I want to play Modern Warfare Remastered again. I'm not 100% against Infinite Warfare, but if I got to pay an extra $20 to get both games together, I don't think I'm going to do that.
Yeah, and I think that's where everyone's sitting right now. It's one thing that a lot of people really don't understand is that not every gamer from the Call of Duty of that year actually shifts over to the next Call of Duty. You have people that have stayed in World at War and never got another Call of Duty. You have people that stayed Black Ops 2. I mean, Black Ops 2 is still sitting at 90,000 people online at this point right now. And there are people that have stayed in Advanced Warfare. There's going to be people that stay with Black Ops 3 and just don't move on to the next game. But these guys have to understand at Activision that every year you have new fans to the Call of Duty franchise.
Right.
And packaging a game that you would typically get at $59.99 with another game and pushing that price point up to $79.99 is actually going to turn everyone off to that game that would essentially come over to Call of Duty and push them in the other direction, which in this case will be Battlefield 1, who's keeping it boots on the ground.
Right. And I was in the mindset going into this year's Call of Duty. Once I seen that Infinite Warfare was the tone, that's where we were going, I'm going to spend $0 on Call of Duty this year. And then when they announced Modern Warfare Remastered, I said, okay, well, I'm going to have to spend $60 on it. Oh, no, I have to spend $80 on Call of Duty this year. So I went from 0 to 80. I would have no problem buying it if they were both packaged together in just the base version of the game. Because I'm not one of those. I haven't bought a season pass for Call of Duty since Black Ops 1.
Oh, wow.
So I've bought one DLC pack. I bought the first DLC pack just to get the zombies for Advanced Warfare, and I haven't bought any of the DLC for Black Ops 3. So I'm one of those guys that I don't really do the season pass thing. So paying $80
thing the season pass doesn't even mean anything anymore.
No.
Back then, you got the season pass. You got everything. You got all DLC. You got all the weapons. You got every single thing that ever came out for the game. It was in the DLC, the season pass.
Right. And that's probably going to transition to our next topic about the supply drops.
Exactly. That right there, I think the supply drop system, it basically killed the franchise of Call of Duty. It made Call of Duty pay to win. It really has.
Yeah. And in Advanced Warfare, I do like what they did with the customization in Advanced Warfare. So I didn't have as much of a problem with supply drops then. until we got to adding guns. Whenever you put guns in there that I can't obtain, I'm not going to buy your season pass because it's only going to give me maps. It's not going to give me any weapons. I don't, I want to get the full experience. I don't want to have to, even if I can obtain it in the game, I don't want to be in a disadvantage when I'm playing online against somebody else because I don't have a Marshall 16 in Black Ops or a, whatever the new gun is out there.
And that's the thing. You're buying this game. Okay, fine. $79.99. You pay another $49.99 for the season pass. Well, okay, fine. So that right there pushes you over that $100 mark that we used to pay for. And now, because the weapons are no longer with the season pass, we have to pay more, potentially thousands more, just to possibly get one of the new weapons that are coming out in the game.
And that's where Ghost gets a pass to me because they put their weapons in their season pass,
As did Black Ops 2. Black Ops 2 had the Peacekeeper that came out, went to all season pass holders. And if I'm not mistaken, you were able to purchase all of these weapons separately, even if you didn't have season pass.
Yeah, because I didn't buy the season pass for Black Ops 2. I only bought maybe two or three of the DLCs. I made sure I bought the one that had the DLC weapon in it.
And even Advanced Warfare did it. Advanced Warfare, they had a bunch of weapons that came out. A lot of them you had to get in the supply drops, but they did have 2 of the DLC weapons that were created after all of the elites and all of the variants that came out, and they were actually attached to certain DLCs.
Yep.
That's
where they stayed.
Black Ops 3, not one weapon has been given away.
Nope. It's sad. And still to this day, I haven't got a weapon drop out of a supply drop in Black Ops 3.
Oh, no. I used to grind that game every single day. Keyword, used to. I used to grind that game every single day. The only thing that I got was the MX Garand, the sword, which I don't even remember what it's called, and the mace. That's all I got. I got 2 melees and 1 gun out of that supply drop, and all 3 of those I actually got with those 75 wins.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it was like I was guaranteed a weapon anyway, and I ended up getting 3 of them, and that's all I ever got. Never got another weapon after that.
Yeah, and my thing is I haven't done anything since they've had the weapon bribes and stuff. I don't even think I've played it since then because I was getting killed so much by Marshall 16s and dual Marshall 16s. I said, man, I can't even get these weapons, and I'm getting hit by 1-kill weapons that I could only get if I buy supply drop after supply drop. And
oh, man.
it just turned me off.
You never seen rage from Rican until you see me get hit with an NX Shadow Claw in a really heated search and destroy match. But all right, so we're going to be going on to our next topic here. Now, do you think Call of Duty is going to be dead? Like, do you think this is the year that Battlefield actually comes and destroys Call of Duty and knocks Call of Duty off of its pedestal?
Man, that's a tough one. For me personally, I've always played both the Battlefield and Call of Duty franchises. I think for a lot of people not wanting the futuristic setting, let's not kid ourselves. You're probably going to still buy Call of Duty because it's Call of Duty, right? Mm-hmm. That's the game we love to play. We're gonna play it no matter what.
Yeah.
But I think from a sales standpoint, this year it will be a lot closer than it ever has been. Battlefield might get the edge, but it's just too hard to tell because I think the whole Modern Warfare Remastered was their last ditch effort, and that's going to get a lot of people on board with buying Call of Duty this year to play that Modern Warfare Remastered. And considering that they have to pay an extra $20 for it, it's going to keep Call of Duty in the top of the sales charts, in earnings. So I think it's still going to sell well. As far as player base, that's a tough one. I really do not know. I think it's going to be even.
I mean, I really feel that Battlefield 1 is going to be coming into its own this year. I mean, this is going to be the year where Battlefield does give Call of Duty a run for its money. Now, with all of the huge, and I mean huge YouTubers you know, those influencers that are actually shifting over to Battlefield 1, I think that's actually going to tip the scales towards the Battlefield 1 direction.
Yeah, that is a good point. I didn't even take that into account because the YouTubers and the Call of Duty community have a huge influence, right?
Oh yeah.
So whenever they start jumping ship, if they're putting out more Battlefield content than Call of Duty content, I believe you're right about that. It's gonna tip the scales pretty big.
Yeah.
I actually believe that, you know, EA Dice has done a great job in capitalizing. They were actually listening not only to their own fan base,
Yeah.
but to the Call of Duty fan base. They knew that people didn't want to go into the future, and we kind of thought that Battlefield was going to go into the future with their last DLC for Battlefield 4, which had some futuristic tank-looking things, and we heard
they had the
rumors.
hovercrafts and stuff like that, and
Yeah,
you know,
and the rail gun.
Yeah.
So I was getting ready to make a video here a few months ago saying, before Battlefield 1 was announced, saying, please do not go into the future. Please, if anything, keep it modern, because we don't have modern war games anymore.
Well, that's the thing about EA Dice. Apparently this year they decided to read everyone's mind and actually listen to even the Call of Duty community and say, you know what? We're done. Let's take it back to the past.
Yep. And this could be what they need, because, you know, it's always been a battle ever since, I want to say Battlefield 3. No, excuse me, Bad Company 2.
Oh, yeah.
Bad Company 2, I remember whenever they came out and they were giving out free maps saying, look, the other guys, you got to pay for their maps. We're going to give them to you for free. Now, granted, those maps were just the same maps put in different game modes. They still tried to spin it that they were better than Call of Duty because we're going to give you free maps.
Yeah.
And even when Battlefield 3 came out and Modern Warfare 3 came out, Call of Duty still killed them.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. They've been killing them every year. But you're right. This might be the year that the scales finally tip.
Yeah. See, and that's the thing. You know, a lot of Call of Duty enthusiasts out there, you know, they've been getting after EA and DICE about the mere fact that they had so many, you know, huge figures at the gameplay.
Right.
You know, they had individuals such as Snoop Dogg, Jamie Foxx, Zac Efron. You know, they had a lot of big influencers out there, and they got heat over it. And my biggest thing is, you know, it's not that I hate Call of Duty. I mean, I started my channel as a Call of Duty channel. But us as Call of Duty, you know, us as the Call of Duty community, we have to keep in mind, there was a time where Call of Duty did use that same marketing scheme. You have to remember, Snoop Dogg did do voiceovers for Call of Duty Ghosts. We also had Ice Cube. We had Eminem making soundtracks for Call of Duty. So we did do the same thing EA Dice is doing, just not as big as EA Dice did it.
We had Kobe Bryant in the Black Ops 1 commercial, I believe.
Yep,
so that's going way back to 2010.
Yeah, so I mean, we actually did it. We capitalized on it as Call of Duty, as the Call of Duty community. We did it. We did it ourselves, and we can't knock another company for doing the same thing we did, only doing it better. I mean, these guys, EA Dice brought in everyone. I mean, they held no one back.
Yeah, they even let Snoop Dogg smoke right there while he's playing the game.
Oh my God, that right there was the highlight of that entire week. Just
I was
that
watching
video.
it with my girlfriend, and I said, look, Snoop Dogg's over there, you know, lighting up right there while he's playing.
Oh no, I was
like,
watching that. I was watching that gameplay right there, and I had my OBS open trying to see if I can capture anything good. And the moment I happened to press record, it shifted to Snoop Dogg, and we ended up getting that picture. I'm actually going to put a picture in the screen right now that way you guys can see it.
Yeah, he was lighting up right there. They didn't even care. They're like, do whatever you want to, Snoop.
Oh yeah, and I mean, I swear, I don't even think it was just Snoop. You know, Jamie Foxx had this look on his face like he was just dumbfounded or just space cadetting it. I swear most of them were pretty much high. So, all right, so that pushes us beyond our limit. You know, I was trying to keep this pretty short, but this was actually a really, really good conversation. You know, so do you have anything else for them, XMegaJohn?
Well, I just want to keep everybody aware of Modern Warfare Remastered. Now, I know we're all waiting for this game, and I don't want to be the Debbie Downer here, but just keep in mind that this game is from 2007. And we've kind of been spoiled with the way Call of Duty has gone and letting us use the customization options, the pick 10 system. Just keep in mind, this is the exact same game from 2007.
Yep.
And, you know, there's going to be a lot of things in there that new players that have just come into Call of Duty in the later years, they're not going to like it. They are not going to like it. There's not going to be as much in there for them.
I completely agree with you on that one. There was a lot of stuff that people raged about in that game, and you know, Infinity Ward already said it. All they did was remaster the maps. They didn't change anything.
Yep. So get ready for Juggernaut and Stopping Power, and you know, so just the grass isn't always greener. Personally, I think Call of Duty, they need to go back to boots on the ground, but they need to do it in a modern way without rehashing a game from 2007. Give us the new stuff that we're familiar with, the kill streaks, the pick 10 system. Go back to the modern military at some point, please.
Exactly. Exactly. I completely agree with you. Well, MegaJohn, I really want to thank you for coming on to the show today, you know, taking the time out of your busy schedule to have this back and forth with me. I really, really appreciate it.
I appreciate it too, man. Just thank you for hearing me out, allowing me to be on here and kind of share some of my opinions on Call of Duty. And I can't wait to do it again.
No problem, man. You're always welcome back on #Update. So you guys out there in YouTube land, I really want to thank you guys for all stopping by, listening to this long conversation that I had with MegaJohn. I'm probably going to keep this video as long as it is right now because, like I said, we had a great conversation. I really don't want to cut anything out. I want you guys to get the full conversation between myself and MegaJohn. If you guys aren't subbed, please sub now. Hit that card that I got coming up in the video right now. Make sure you guys please stop by MegaJohn's channel. Help him blow up the same way you help every other person in #Team Small YouTuber, man. He has a great channel, outstanding content, great guy. Make sure you guys click that card, hit up the link in the description, drop those subs on MegaJohn's video. You guys are chilling with your boy THoG Rican, co-host MegaJohn on #Update. You guys have a great day. THoG Empire out.